Welcome to the Tag Talks podcast. For today's episode, I'm all by myself. Most of the episodes that I've released so far, I've had some sort of guest with me and have been interviewing them. But today's going to be a little bit different. My goal when I kind of started this project was I wanted to try and put something out every week for the rest of the year. With that goal in mind, I need to understand that, sometimes there's not going to be a guest. So some of these times I'm going to have to record episodes by myself, and that's okay. But when I do get to do them by myself, I'm probably going to just keep them a little shorter, a little simpler, and focus on one specific topic. So the topic for kind of today's kind of mini podcast is navigating the training world post COVID. So we're coming up on about 3 months since gyms were closed. I know I had to shut my gym down March 17th, so we're just a few days short of 3 full months, and I think public gyms followed a very similar timeline. So it's been about 3 months that people haven't been able to access their regular training routine for most people, right? Obviously, if you have a fully stocked home gym like myself, then your training hasn't changed at all. But I know that's not the case for everyone. So most people have had to modify their training in some aspect, whether that's at home doing full body weight training, using just bands, lighter dumbbells, whatever. And I've been thinking about this as we enter phase 2 starts today. Today's June 12th. So phase 2 starting today. Things are starting to open back up. Little glimmers of real life are starting to show themselves. And I think gyms are going to probably be open within the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's kind of what it sounds like. Right now, we don't have any specific timelines, dates, any of that kind of stuff, but that's what it sounds like. I saw some stuff that said in select cities, Good Lives are going to be open by the end of June, obviously with some sort of modified schedules. So the training world is going to start to open itself back up. Obviously, things are going to look really, really different. But I've been thinking about this while I walk my dog. That's normally where I do my deepest thinking. But the thought for this week on dog walks has really been like, what are people going to screw up when the gyms get to be back open? And that's not to be pessimistic. It's just trying to think, how can I be able to help potentially? And I don't know the exact answer to that, but when I was thinking about this, the biggest mistakes that I think people are going to be making when gyms do open themselves back up, it's people are going to be in such a rush to get back to what they're doing before, whether that's general population or athletes. People are going to feel this sense of urgency. Okay, they're going to say, oh, 3 months have gone by. My entire training regimen has been completely disturbed. I was hitting XYZ number in whatever lift before, and now I feel like I lost my gains and I need to like try and get them back as soon as possible. Which like I totally get. You worked hard to get to a certain level, and you feel like you've kind of been robbed of that hard work because of the coronavirus and lost your gains. I know that's a huge thing that I've been seeing people talking about, like on social media and that kind of stuff. And the thing is, like, that stuff will come back. Honestly, get back in the gym and just train smart. Okay, don't be in a rush to try and get back to where you were. I think that's just a terrible strategy. Knowing what you know, you're the only one who really knows what you've done over the past few months. So I think you need to take a good hard look in the mirror and do some self inventory and think, okay, what have I done for the 3 months, and how is that going to prepare me for what I'm going to try and do once the gyms reopen? I think the best long term strategy is to just consistently try and take one little step forward each day and make a plan that's going to give you about 6 to 8 weeks to kind of slowly ramp your training back up so that you can do it in a safe and effective manner. If you're a general population, like, you have no timeline, right? If you're just training for overall health and just because you love to train, then what is your rush? Like, what is rushing you to get back to doing whatever that you think you need to be doing, right? Like, these are the hard questions that you need to ask yourself. And in terms of athletes, like, I don't want to sound, again, super pessimistic or, take the wind out of your sails, but right now it seems like all sports are going to be canceled. The OUA and youth sports just canceled all fall sports. I would be very surprised at this point if high school doesn't cancel all of theirs. So right now, if you're an athlete, there's really no pressing timeline. You're not going to be returning to whatever your sport is this fall. Summer sports already zapped. That's not going to happen. So, get back in the gym, do the things that are going to serve you in the long term and not feel like you have to make up for lost time. Like, if that's your mentality going into this, I can almost guarantee you're going to get hurt, right? And like I said, the best strategy moving forward is taking small, consistent steps each day, and just compounding that over a period of weeks to get back to where you were, instead of trying to do too much too soon, getting hurt and taking 5 steps backwards, right? You really don't want to get hurt. This is a rare opportunity. It's an unfortunate one, but as an athlete, this is a rare opportunity where you're presented with a anywhere from 6 to potentially 12-month period of just preparing yourself for your next sporting season. And I'm thinking specifically football here, but things are going to change a little bit. Like, there's going to be kind of 2 recruiting classes, like we're assuming university football returns in September 2021. And if you're a potential recruit going out, there's going to be 2020 recruits and 2021 recruits all coming out in the same year. So there's going to be a larger pool to draw from, and therefore less space on rosters and less recruits getting signed. That's just my estimation, right? I'm not a pro. That's just my observation and my thoughts. So you really can't afford to get hurt right now. You need to be doing the best things for you to put you in a position to be one of the select few that's going to get that opportunity next year. And getting hurt by trying to do too much too soon is not going to serve you anyway in the long term. So that's really all I wanted to say today is, as things start to open up, as real life starts to resume, don't feel like you need to be in such a rush to get to where you're going. Take your time, set a plan, execute a plan, and be reasonable, because the best ability right now is availability as the gyms in the training world start to reopen. And if you get yourself hurt and you can't train for 6 to 8 weeks, well, that's going to put you in a really bad spot, and it's going to potentially ding you in the future. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. If you listen to this and you liked it, let me know. And if you have any suggestions on topics you'd like me to cover in the future, send me a DM. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.